Hey guys, for the purpose of this video, yes, I'm topless, and yes, we live in a world of aesthetics and image and blah blah blah. And just to make myself look a little bit more intelligent, I'm wearing my glasses, but I've also got my morning bed head look. So, if you follow me already, may it be Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Snapchat, whatever you can think of, you'll know by now that I'm a little bit vain and I'm a little bit on the aesthetics bandwagon, and I have been for my entire life. I'm quite fortunate to have had a huge privilege in being involved with sport from a young age. So I was doing regional, national athletics, different types of martial arts, and I had really good foundations with a really good supporting family and network. And in my early to mid 20s, I just did a lot of personal training. I did a lot of modeling, and I was doing my music and DJing. And late 20s, got comfortable in relationships, did what most people do, put a bit of body fat on, started drinking a bit too heavily and eating a bit too much junk food, and started putting even more weight on. And then I hit a brick wall after a relationship breakdown late 20s, and I decided to get into the best shape possible for my 30s, of which I actually then took myself completely out of my comfort zone and got into my budgie smugglers and jumped onto the stage at Miami Pro for my first comp. Uneducated, unknowledgeable, had no idea what I was doing, just thought, hey, let's just do this for shits and giggles. It was quite a funny experience. Had I looked back, I would have probably took more of a long-term approach at it. I would have probably got coaching, looked at my training strategy, looked at my nutrition in detail. But you know what? I'm a firm believer, if you don't throw yourself in at the deep end, you'll never truly achieve what it is you want to achieve. So that was my first comp. Then I did the likes of the WBFF, and we all know that's like a hardcore federation. It's a really good international network. And after that, I thought, you know, I'll go and do Pure Elite, and then I went back to WBFF, and each time I did a comp, I got more and more confident with it. But you know what? I never gave myself a break for about 4 or 5 years. I was constantly at it, and I had lots of friends that are like really good coaches, all saying, "Gav, you need to take a break off this aesthetic bandwagon, mate. It's not just for your mental health, but also you're not gonna grow these different muscle groups that you're weak at if you're constantly in a calorific deficit and you're constantly half killing yourself." And I actually made the decision back in 2019 that I was actually going to just retire from this game. I just did the Los Angeles WBFF. I said, right, I'm going to take it to the max, push it as hard as I physically can, take it to a whole new extreme. And I pushed my body to a physical breaking point, and mentally it was very challenging at the time as well. So that was mid 2019, and I was up against guys who were Team USA sprinters, Olympians, people traveling from all over the world. The physiques were mental. The condition in these guys was obscene, and I, having modelled in my early 20s and been. And when I say model, I don't mean just putting photos out on Instagram. When I share my visuals and videos and photos of past photo shoots, most of them were paid work. I was doing professional modelling and catwalk years before Instagram. And in my early 20s, I was a bit of a pretty boy. Friends took the piss out of me for it. But you know what? I don't mind it too much now. I'm going for more of the manly look now. Yeah, okay, I look a bit washed up at the moment because I look a bit rugged because I haven't got out. I just got out of bed. But I had this like niggling thought in my head for quite some time after doing that last competition back in 2019. I was like any competitive person, like any sort of athlete, I hit a brick wall. I was like, gosh, I'm retiring for this. I'm early 30s, and am I doing the right thing? And then unfortunately, I went from being on a huge high mid 2018, doing the WBFF event. Sorry, if I said 2019, I meant 2018. I went from being on a massive high mid 2018 to a huge low. I was dating someone at the time who turned out to be using drugs, and that was a very messy ordeal. So I got out of that relationship, and then later that year, dated another girl who turned out to be a porn star. Didn't go down too well. And then I lost like 4 people in succession. And when I say lost, I mean they just died. It was a very tough experience. Like within a space of 4 months, I lost like 4 really close people, and it really hurt. It broke me, and I spent the whole of 2019 pretty much being a zombie. I wasn't my true self. I wasn't happy with myself. And then at the end of 2019, because I put a lot of body fat on, but I put a bit more muscle on, I thought, you know what, I'm going to go back into competing. And I was like, right, that's it. Going to do the physique aesthetic vein train again in 2020. And I was like, right, 2020 is going to be my year. I just opened up a shop, spent a lot of money on it. Spent like tens of thousands on doing all these fitness and fitness shows. Spent like tens of thousands on stock, and then suddenly Boris was like, right, sod you all, close down the country. And I was just like, yeah. 2018 lost a load of people. 2019 I was just like just lost myself, and then it's like, right, it's gonna be my year. And then, so being honest with you, I had to just focus on quickly closing down this shop, consolidating back, putting all my stock into storage, and I was just in this panicked frenzy. I've done previous videos on my YouTube about this experience. I will talk more about it in the future. I then diversified GymBeing, which is my brand, from just gym wear and accessories into gym equipment. So if you do need gym equipment, it's UK made. Make sure to check it out, gymbeing.com. It's a brand that I'm very proud of. I started from scratch back in 2012 when I originally sponsored a team of Olympic athletes who went on to represent Team GB. And if you syllabalise GymBeing UK, you get GB UK. So that's a fashion range which is coming this year to the Arnold. So yeah, I hit a bit of a brick wall. Started last year, suddenly running around like a blue-ass fly, selling gym equipment to the whole country, helping thousands of people. I'm very proud to have not just helped my family, but worked closely with my friends and served and supported a lot of people in my community and across the UK. And then got to the end of last year, set up another shop, put like almost £40,000 into stock, into the shop, into rents, into everything. And I got fucking closed down again on the first day. It was the start of November, and then whole country suddenly wants gym equipment again. So I had to close my shop and then go into selling gym equipment. And then we finally got to open for December, and then again January lockdown. And I just decided to liquidate most of my clothing stock, gift it away to people who bought gym equipment, and it was just so stressful. Winter was really stressful. And I'd admit, I'd openly admit right now to you on this, because I'm all about transparency. I'm not going to bullshit you. Yeah, I hit a bit of a rough spot. I went back into all my bad habits. I was drinking a bit too much. And I used to have an alcohol addiction issue when I was in my early 20s. Whiskey's my thing. I collect scotch, but I drink bourbon. And yeah, early 20s, I could drink a bottle a day. Literally, I could drink a litre of whiskey with no issue at all. And so having to deal with the police, district council, opening a shop, having to close on the first day, get to open at Christmas, having to close again in the New Year, closing that shop, serving the country, very stressed out. Yeah, I just went into a lot of bad habits, and the two main ones which I went back into was eating too much junk food and drinking too much alcohol, and hit a bit of a brick wall, I'll be honest. And at the end of last year, I was convinced, right, 2021, I'm going to compete at the Arnold. And around October, November time, I was around the 15 and a half, 16 stone mark. When I weighed myself at I think it was like the end of February this year, 2021, I was over 18 and a half stone. I was the heaviest I've ever been, but I was also the most bulked. And if you can see, like my shoulders are popping at the moment. I haven't even trained shoulders for a few days, and like the muscle density's there. And I'm drug free, by the way, if anyone wants to point out and ask these sort of questions. Very often I'm approached by people wanting me to sell their drugs, and I just ignore them, blank them. It's not me, it's not what I'm into. My background was sport, like I said. Aesthetics was a byproduct of athletics and my martial arts, and then I went into aesthetics hardcore in my late 20s. I was into it as a hobby interest, had a six-pack at the age of 21, but I went hardcore with it in the last 8 years. And yeah, I was adamant late last year, 2020, right, I'm going to compete at the Arnold in 2021. And I made that commitment to myself, but then things just went crazy. So I put on another 2.5 stone, mostly body fat, let's be honest, drinking too much, eating too much junk food, just getting through this very stressful, busy period. It was the most muscular I've ever been, but the fattest I've ever been as well. And a lot of people were quite quick to point it out. A lot of people, when they've seen me on the likes of socials and Instagram and stuff, they're like, oh, you don't look like your photos. It's like, cheers, mate, thanks. It's like, oh, check out your stomach. It's like, yeah. And yeah, a lot of people pointed it out, and a lot of people were highlighting my flaws and my pitfalls. And I think in the UK especially, we find it so easy to demonise those who have high hopes and aspirations, but also a lot of people today have such insecurities that they kind of feel better in themselves by demonising and being horrible to other people. There's a lot of people like that, and it's not nice. I remember turning around to a number of people, and I was like, oh, I'm going to compete, and they're like, you get that like once up, once down sort of look, as if to say, mate, what planet you on? So for me this year, why am I doing the competing? It's just something that's been always something I've been into. I've been into aesthetics since I was a child. Was a professional model in my early 20s. I'm still keen to do modelling, but I think I'm going to go down more of the physique, muscular sort of model route. And I'll openly say this, right now I'm just over 15 stone. So I'm the lightest I've been since my last competition back in 2018. Immediately after the comp, I did what most people do, balloon back up, discovered sugar. But then I got back from Los Angeles and discovered the girl that I was supporting, her and her daughter. She was a massive drug user and just wasn't good. I'm not going to name any names, it's not fair for me to say that, but it was at that point that was the catalyst from being on a pedestal, going to LA competing, doing all these fancy photo shoots, to then a succession of losses. So relationship, meeting somebody else who failed to mention that they were an international porn star and they're on every freaking porn website. My friends love that idea, by the way. Myself, nah, it's not the sort of girl that I want to take home my parents. And again, I'm not going to name any names because that's not fair. But then, yeah, like I say, I don't wish upon anyone to lose like a business coach to heart disease, a close friend to cancer, a friend to suicide, and then a close family member also to cancer. It was just, it fucked me. 2019, I was out of it. I was floating around. I couldn't really make sense of things, and that's why I did a lot of short travel, short breaks, and just buckle down. I was here, I was present, but I wasn't here mentally, and then that's why I just got on and managed to do quite well in the year of COVID, if I'm honest, because I've been through much worse. I was gonna let a little sniffle stop me, so there we go. But yeah, I'm in a good place now. 2021, competing at the Arnold, looking at doing WBFF, looking at doing a few other competitions as well. But I am going back into my personal training full time. The point of this video message is that even us guys and girls who are in the fitness game can lose track at times, hit hard times, and it's so important that we just pull ourselves off the ground, out the dirt, dust ourselves down, and just get back on. And at the end of the day, I live in a transparent world, and that's why I share these sort of messages to people. If you want to listen, if you want to know what I'm about, transparency is key, and it's so important just to be yourself in a fake world where people are just wanting to be what they're not. And I'd rather just say, look, last 3 years it was fucking tough. Managed to pull myself out, get myself back on top. Now it's a different chapter entirely. And yeah, I'm proud to say that I will now be a better trainer to other people, because there's not much you can say to me in terms of your experiences, what you're going through, what you've gone through, that I haven't already experienced myself. I have people coming to me who are going through divorce. Yeah, I've gone through relationship breakdowns. I've almost lost my house over one in the past. I know what it's like to be rock bottom. When people come to me that want to lose weight, it's like, I now know what it's like to, I was the fattest I've ever been at the start, yeah, I admit that. And I know what it's like to put on a lot of body fat. I also know now how mean and shit society can be, especially to us personal trainers. If you put a lot of body fat on, people are horrible. Many a time I wanted to knock someone out or just throat punch them. Yes, I have said that on YouTube. Do I care? No, I'm saying it straight. But you just smile and just nod it off, and you just think, well, okay, right, when I get through this blip, I'm gonna get myself back on track, back and focused. I know what it's like to struggle with addictions. I know what it's like to hit rock bottom. I know what it's like to get on top. I know what it's like to be on top. So life's all about emotions. Life is about balance, and it's about finding your own special way. But on a final note, life isn't all about aesthetics and image. I know I might appear that way. I appreciate I might talk about it a lot, and I appreciate I'll be banging that drum left, right and centre this year. It's only because aesthetics is such a big part of the fitness industry today, and image means more to some people than their mental health, unfortunately. Don't compromise on your mental health and your emotional state just to look good. Get a balance. And that's why I say from experience, but also from experience working with many people over years. So there we go. That's a transparent update of where Gav is at, and why I've gone extremely into the aesthetic focused mindset again, but also that I'm going back into my personal training as a full-time career, and I'm doing it online on a one-to-one basis at my studio. And I've also got the Transformation Gym membership platform going live this year, where it's going to have all the content that I've ever worked on, all the video content that I've ever worked on. I've been on the BBC and ITV and Daily Mail and magazines more than 30 times over the years. I've also decided to team up with friends who are Team GB athletes, coaches, nutritionists, They're also going to help with compiling video workouts, HIIT workouts, recipe ideas, nutritional ideas, a whole host of things, and I'm just going to have it all on this membership platform, and I'm going to make sure it's the most comprehensive, good quality content you could get on the planet. At the end of the day, guys, I've been in this market and industry my entire life. I've been an active PT since 2005. I was here before the hype, before the social media craze, before all the fads, and at the end of the day, most viewers watching this, they just want to be the best looking version of themselves, but not just the best looking in terms of aesthetics, but also posture, physical strength, power. In terms of sports, there's going to be stuff on the membership platform as well. I'm privileged to say that I've worked with over 200 professional global athletes, from Olympian to novice, all standards, professional fighters, footballers, rugby players, golfers, you name it, what sport. And I'm going to have different subsections on this platform as well. And most people just want to not just look good in today's society, they also want to feel good as well. So mindset's key, nutrition is definitely key. You are what you eat, but you're also what you think as well. So don't associate with idiots, stay away from toxic people, feed your brain, feed your body, and train hard. It's not that hard. So there you go, that's me in a transparent manner, and yeah, I hope if you like what I'm about, give my Instagram channels a follow, at Gavin Townsend Fitness, but also at transformationgym.co.uk. And if you need gym equipment or you're interested in new gym wear, follow at GymBeing as well. So there we are, that was the most transparent video that I've done in years, highlighting the fact that sometimes what goes up can come down, but with hard graft, effort, perseverance, and time and patience, you can get yourself back on top again. So there we go. Thanks for watching. If you're on my YouTube, hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, give us a thumbs up, and never quit on yourself, guys. Never quit on your goals, never quit on yourself. Thanks for watching.